Welcome to Celestial Rose Tarot. Thank you guys for joining me and stopping by. It is really great to have your support for this channel. And yeah, so thank you for being here. I was just asking, I felt guided to use these pens, and these colors are particularly important. And they might hold meaning for each and every one of you. They could pertain to the colors of the chakras, or just your favorite color, or maybe you keep seeing orange cars, or so I don't know, just there's something significant about these colors. And I was trying to ask, what is the topic of this reading? And I wasn't getting any straight answers. I felt like someone was arguing with me. So we're just going to go with the flow. Yeah, I think that's what's best. So whatever comes out, what do you need to know is essentially what we're going to be looking into. So each pile will be radically different, and if you want to pick multiple piles, it's absolutely fine. For some of you, 2 piles will be enough, and for some of you, all 3 is what you're needing, and you can treat the whole reading as like all 3 piles as an entire reading. It's really up to you. So there's a lot of go with the flow energy, like what are you needing to know? I feel like a lot of you you're not strictly desperate for information, but there's a curiosity, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting, Now this looks yellow on camera, but it's actually orange. Okay, so anyway, pile number 1 will be the blue pen, pile number 2 is the purple pen, and pile number 3 is the orange/yellow pen. Okay, so check your timestamps down below, and I'll see you there. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. We are going with the flow with this one. So we've got 2 cards that just literally fell out here. You're trying to determine something about an experience, okay? Now, what you guys need to do is you need to express something. You need to write something down. I'm hearing from the movie White Chicks, I'm going to write a letter. So you might be feeling pissed off about something, and you need to express it in some way. You need to clear that energy from your throat chakra, and even possibly expressing something that you feel sad about or upset about. So it needs to be expressed in some way that feels right for you. This experience, this energy needs to have a voice. It needs a voice. Interestingly, we have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and we have the Page of Wands. Okay, so once you've expressed something, or even just thought about how you feel about this situation and just understood the experience to some degree, that's going to change. It's going to transmute the energy into something else, into a different form. And you'll be able to ground something after that. As you see, the Page of Swords is a lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking energy, thinking before doing. And this card wants to have an experience. It wants to just go for it. So there even is another message there about possible overthinking, when the Knight of Swords just wants to go for it and have an experience, but the Page of Swords is holding back because they're thinking about all the possibilities, the what ifs, we've got to nut this out before we do anything. Okay, but the Page of Wands, I feel like it wants to go there. The Page of Wands is someone like who's I always think of like a 4-year-old boy who just wants to go and play, and have this experience. And I get that actually this experience, there might be a bit of worry about something, but there is something to be celebrated. There is a focus here as well on the possibilities that are good. So sometimes we overthink and we are afraid to do something if we're not sure of the outcome of the situation. But I feel like your guides are actually wanting you to just go for it and focus on the positives. And there's always going to be something good that comes from these experiences. There's something also, like, I can't decide where I want to put this card. I can't decide where I want to put it. It's like you're really struggling to make a decision about something. This good situation is going to happen anyway because this is a part of your path. So there's this kind of sense of like, well, stop overthinking it and just do it because it is actually a part of your path anyway. And you can actually rearrange these cards however you want. So I keep placing them in different orders, and I don't know where they want to sit. But there's potentially as well, going back to the first message that came through was to write something down. Maybe you can actually get clarity on your situation by writing stuff down. It can be like a draft. This is universe, this is what I want. I need to write this down, and then you can fine tune your goals. So on a more practical level, there is a message here. There are so many people in this. Okay, so you're probably overthinking because you've got a lot of opinions around you, okay? Or even like, yeah, there could be just a lot of doubt or confusion because there's so many people potentially judging you, or you can feel this judgment, or even just you're wanting to have a lot of different experiences. And you're going to walk into an experience anyway, and it's going to be, this could be some sort of party. There could be someone here who is actually wanting to go to a party, but they're nervous about what's going to happen. There is a message here for someone who's possibly just stopped drinking and they're nervous about going to a party because, not drinking is it's new for you. So you're nervous about what's going to happen if you go to the party. But for that specific person, it's very specific. It's okay to go to the party. Just give yourself a way out. Just give yourself a ride home and just say, look, I actually, you could make an excuse and say, I can only stay for half an hour, or I can only stay for an hour. So that specific example could be metaphorical and could be expanded on for, you don't have to lock yourself into a decision. You can accept that job and say, and then just, have some sort of contingency plan to get out if it's not the right thing. I mean, every job should have a trial period, right? So there's something about not being certain of a decision or an experience that you want to have. This is more of an experience than Knight of Swords. But there is good that will happen from this. Can we look into that actually? Yeah. Yeah. So everything I'm saying is it is what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is. I'm sort of getting this like, could be questioning a relationship, whether it's right for you. For some of you, there is a decision about a medical process that you're trying to decide on, and you're trying to decide if it's right for you. Because that looks almost like that symbol. It looks like I can't remember what you call it, the medical logo. But basically, there is, you're trying to make a decision about what's right for you in a certain situation. And there is something hidden about this. There's uncertainty. Let's get one more card. Okay, so clear message here. The truth is this relationship is right for you, but it's completely your choice. And there's a message here to just treat it like an adventure. I really love the Ace of Swords in this card deck. It's so beautiful. It's like this message of like holding on to your truth, knowing what is right for you. But see how the person is holding the sword, but not too tightly, but they're ready to grab onto that truth if they need to. And then there's this elevation of your truth. Very cool. So hopefully that has hit home for someone. Very, very cool. Yeah. So this was definitely a little bit vague, but I hope that this has shed some light on your situation and given you a peaceful way forward. So pile number 1, thank you so much for being here, and I hope this helps. I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So you've chosen the purple pen here. And I just got that song, The Purple People Eater, which I sang back in primary school. But there's something about silly songs. There's also something about silly songs with Larry, which is one of the songs from Veggie Tales. So you can harmonize your energy and lighten whatever burdens you have by singing some happy songs, doing something fun, laughter. You might be feeling a bit burdened at the moment. You could be surrounded by toxic people or people who are, I'm actually getting the word vengeful here. So there's a need to use possibly using light, like sunlight or salt water, to cleanse your energy so that your burden can be a little bit lighter. This could also mean eliminating, I'm hearing, toxic substances from your life, whatever that is for you. That could be changing your environment, or anything to do with the food that you're eating, or just thoughts that you're thinking, any particular habits that you feel no longer resonate positively for you. Now, when I saw the 6 of Wands here, I looked at the horse, but I saw it as a different animal. So I don't know what to make of that just yet, but that is interesting. I do feel here, pile 2, that you guys are seen as successful, and I'm hearing that there's more. So you're actually playing quite small right now, but the reason why you're playing small is that you're not actually able to expand yet until you clear out this heavy energy. You're carrying too much in some way. So first you need to identify what it is that's making you feel drained or heavier than you need to feel. It's like you're just there's this sense of like carrying a load inefficiently. So that needs to clear. Let's see what comes after that. I love this Temperance card. And there's something about animals. So some of you could work with animals, or you are highly resonant with animals. I feel like animals are guided towards you in some way. It's almost like they see your true essence and they follow you. So perhaps working with animals is something that you're being guided towards. It's like this 2 of Pentacles is making me think, just on that line, this 2 of Pentacles is making me think that maybe you're finding that humans, like adults, are maybe too taxing to work with. This is just an example, but there's something about your situation that is overly taxing to work with. And so perhaps the dynamic that needs to be changed is actually working with animals, or even children, but working with animals instead. But I also, because we got the Purple People Eater before, that song, there could be something about, working with kids. But there's definitely a message about changing your environment and changing the dynamic of particularly your work situation. But it could also just be day-to-day schedule, routine. And interestingly as well, we have 2 beaches here. So I think a lot of you actually need to go to the beach, hang out at the beach for a little bit. There's definitely, I just heard a seagull, even though I'm nowhere near the beach. There is something about the beach. What a beach. So every single one of these cards have every single one of these cards, you're on your own. This is where you feel the most happiest. And we've got two horses. Well, actually, it's a unicorn. But we've just got either by yourself or animals. So even working with animals to help you clear your energy, maybe you're like an animal whisperer or a horse whisperer. I feel like horses are very significant, and that could be something symbolic. You could have there's perhaps a telepathic connection with animals, and I'm hearing yes, you do. Go for it. And with the purple pen here, that speaks to the third eye. So you do have a strong third eye, and you're able to use this with animals because they're already there. They already understand and accept that. And so perhaps you would feel more comfortable in an environment that is, you're surrounded by animals. Perhaps when you go for walks every weekend, you run into a lot of dogs at the beach. Or yeah, there's definitely a fresh air vibe here with going to the beach, being in the light. It's all very mystical. This is a beautiful Knight of Pentacles as well. So I personally am not fully understanding this message, but I feel like it is going to land for you guys. Like you'll be able to take pieces of this and it'll make sense for you. So I just want to thank you guys for being here for this reading. And I trust that it will, this information will flow exactly how it needs to for your highest good. So yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. You've chosen the orange pen here. And I'm hearing, what do you really want? Write it down. What do you really want? Some of you have not actually fully tapped into exactly what you really want. So it could be an important time for you to actually really actually carve out some time for yourself to really think about that. It's going to help you further down the line if you do this. It's going to help you know yourself, know thyself. It's going to bring you into alignment with your higher self, because what happens when we spend time just quietly journaling, or even just, gazing at the sky and the clouds and thinking, what do I really want? That's like an invitation for your higher self and your angels to actually come in and talk with you. It's okay to want what you want. So your new beginning actually involves you, there's a new phase that you're coming into, a new situation, a new frequency, new energy. It could be a bit different for each of you, but this person here is very secure in their path. They know their direction, they know their heading, and as a result, they're attracting other people who want to learn from that or who want to experience that. So when you know what you want, you know who you are, and you're in alignment with yourself, that's a really important frequency to actually be in. And there's something about helping others with whatever gifts or resources that you have an abundance of, but doing it in a very balanced way. You're not just giving everything, you're being discerning. But there's also a message here with the Six of Pentacles about smelling the flowers and appreciating the smaller, finer things in life. I'm very drawn here to the sparkles along the path. It's like maybe you're capable of, or someone is going to help you see the beauty in life, in the smaller things, like, oh my God, look at that flower, look how beautiful it is. Or that baby just sneezed or laughed or something. How cute, how adorable. Or like, developing, there could be you developing a deeper appreciation for someone special in your life, zhuzhing up your relationship, anything like that. There's something about understanding what you truly want and who you are and how you maybe even want to make the world a better place. Um, so this is kind of the first step in that direction, is really understanding who you are, what makes you tick, what are you passionate about, what don't you care about, like what do you want to let go of, and just really honing in on yourself. Any final message? This is really about getting you in alignment with your true self. And that is definitely an energy that is kind of circulating at the moment in general, is really harmonizing with your true self. And understanding as well that we're all, I'm seeing Joey from Friends, having and giving and sharing and receiving. And we're all kind of doing this with each other all the time as we interact. So there's something really important about learning from others and then teaching others at the same time. Like Patch Adams was a famous doctor. He failed medical school, or he dropped out or something. And the movie of Patch Adams he's acted by Robin Williams. Great movie, highly recommend. But he basically said in the end, his philosophy was, we're all patients and we're all doctors. So like when he set up his medical practice, eventually I think he qualified, but when he set up his medical practice, he had this, it was a house and everybody stayed there, and while they were receiving treatment, and some of them would actually take responsibility and help other patients, and then it was sort of this kind of ecosystem that worked in really harmoniously and worked really well together. So everybody felt that they were contributing, but then they were also receiving the care that they need. So there's this really cool, like, it's almost like kind of hippie vibes, actually. It's really cool. And there's something here about creative pathways, creative. Actually, I was going to say creative solutions, but I heard creative illusions. But this is ultimately about becoming in harmony with yourself. The Lovers card is often about, a lot of people take the Lovers to talk about, your romantic love or relationship. But the Lovers is more deeply about harmonizing your own inner aspects. So harmonizing your masculine and feminine energies. And so there's a really strong message there, and that about seeking answers within yourself and really tapping into what you want and who you are. And see that this light here is it's actually shining at the sacral, which goes back to the orange here. It's like really understanding what your inner child needs, what you really want in life. If you're coming up to a new season, you've got a fresh start ahead of you, or something new has come in. This message, this reading here for you guys, is really about fine tuning exactly what so that you can bring this in, and it will eliminate any challenges that are unnecessary if you know exactly what you want. So, bottom line, guys, pile number 3, you guys are being given a message about coming into harmony with yourself, but really honing in on exactly what you want. And to do that, it could be helpful to do that in a structured way by sitting down with a pen and paper and saying, what do I want with my life? What do I want to achieve this week? What do I want to experience? And that's a really important way to put it. What do I want to experience? So I feel like that's everything for you guys. But thank you so much for dropping by. It's awesome to have you here. And I hope this helps in some way. And I'll see you next time. Bye.